So Nick, past couple weeks has kind of constantly brought up physicality, nastiness. Did he emphasize that more behind the scenes, starting that, or has it always been sort of consistent?
I think it's been an emphasis. It's certainly been an emphasis for the O-line, and is most years. But I think we have a lot of guys up front who are good at that. I mean, obviously, Jordan's a big guy. Landon's a big guy. We got some really big physical guys out there, and we're getting an opportunity to really get after guys. So I think it's been a lot of fun.
Do you feel like those traits are sort of like contributing, or maybe are the offensive identity at this point?
Yeah, I mean, our identity is what we do every single time we go out on the field, right? So, I enjoy running the ball. I enjoy a lot of the things that we're doing right now, especially because we're, winning and having success doing it. That being said, though, you still got to take what the defense is giving you. You still got to be ready to adjust. If a team's playing, cover zero all day and slamming, 8-9 guys in the box, you better be able to throw the ball. So, I feel like, we're doing a good job of facilitating a really, really successful offense right now.
It's been such a dramatic shift from, the run-pass balance from the first 7 games to the last 4 games. Was there any point along the way where you, as an offensive line, started to agitate for that, to say that maybe we can lean on this?
No, I mean, I think that you kind of try and stay in your, realm, but, you continue to talk as an offense, as, we certainly talk openly and a lot with Stout and with any coaches. So, I think that, we've said this before. I know that it doesn't seem like it, but, the runs were getting called. It was just RPOs, and they ended up getting thrown a lot. So, obviously, we're calling a lot more runs now. And a lot fewer of those are, RPOs. So, they're definitely getting handed off or read or kept in some way. So, I think that, it kind of has morphed into what it is because that's what's been the most successful. So,
Jason, you guys left Vegas 2-5. What kept this team together?
Well, we still have football games to play. I think even in Las Vegas, I still felt like offensively we were starting to figure some things out, especially the first drive. And early on, it felt like we were kind of trying to do some things that were working a little bit more. So I always felt like we were kind of moving in the right direction, even though maybe the record didn't indicate that. And at least offensively, I can't speak for the defense side of the ball, but it seems like both sides have really figured things out and have, we've gotten to some things that are definitely working a lot better.
That was a pretty bad loss. Where does that rank in the pantheon?
The Raiders?
Yes.
I've had way worse losses than that. I mean, I remember being in, I think, the New Orleans Saints, the year that we went to the playoffs was a pretty ugly one. Green Bay against Aaron Rodgers one year, I think it was like 40 points at halftime or something like that. I mean, that was really, really bad. But whenever you get beat that bad, it's, all you can do is just try and get better, get back to work. Usually there's a lot of reasons why something like that happens. So ultimately we're a better team today because of it. And I think it forces you to look at yourselves and look at what you're doing. When your tail's kicked that bad, everybody's to blame. So I think it's really easy to humble everybody across the board and really focus on how everyone individually can get better.
Miles said that when he looks at the film now versus a couple of years ago when he was first starting to be used a lot, that he sees him hitting the hole much more. There isn't as much dancing it to the outside. Do you see the same stuff when you look at the film in terms of his
Yeah, I do. I think I see it in all of our backs this year in particularly, but I think Miles you've seen him progress throughout his career in that. The window, and I think that's natural for any running back coming out of college. The holes close that much quicker in the NFL. The opportunity that you're going to get is only going to be there for a brief second. And, I think that he's progressed really, really well in that regard. So it was great to have him back last week for sure.
Jason, most of the leaders on the team are established veterans, been around here for a long time. Jalen's 23. What about him has allowed him to be accepted into that role by the team?
I mean, as a personality for one, I think that he's every single day he's coming to work trying to get better. He's got the right mindset. He's got he's got a presence about him, confidence and things like that also lend themselves to being in that position. But, I think as far as the intangibles, the leadership, all that stuff, Jalen's been phenomenal in that regard. And, I think most guys who are wired like that do that from the age of 23. He's probably been doing that from, when he was in high school too. I mean, chances are that he's probably been wired that way for a while.
Jason, Nick compared your blocking to Joey Bob on Varsity Blues. Have you seen Varsity Blues?
Oh, yeah.
How do you think your blocking compares to Joey Bob?
Well, I'd like to think I'm a little more athletic than Billy Bob, but that's a heck of a comparison. Yeah, Varsity Blues, the program, those are probably my two favorite football movies because of how absurd they are. But yeah, those are fun ones to watch.
So that play, Jordan's like one arm pancake,
Yeah.
and his fight with Marcus Davenport. Which play got the biggest reaction in the O-line room?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that for me, the biggest one that got the biggest reaction was Jordan on the field with Davenport. Jordan's he is a big man. So is Marcus Davenport. So, everybody's got a role on a team, and to have a 400-pound guy that's, getting after somebody, that's a heck of a imposing force to have on your side. So, it's awesome to see that type of intensity and emotion out of a guy that size, because I think other teams are probably going to take notice of that one.
There's a misperception about him that he's just a happy-go-lucky Australian guy?
No, I think that's a good perception. I think he is a happy-go-lucky Australian guy, but he's also a guy that can get pissed off too. So, I enjoyed watching it. So, yeah.
How much have you seen Jordan's confidence grow? He just seems so much more self-assured now. He's putting IHOP on Instagram.
Yeah.
He knows he can play this game at the highest level now.
For sure, yeah. The confidence is there. He's really, and it should be there. I mean, I think when you go out there and you have success, you should be confident. When you put the work in, when you practice, and you create all these habits that are going to enable you to go have success, you should be confident. Now, the key is you can't be so confident that you don't realize you still got room to grow, and I think that all of us realize that, not just Jordan. The reality is all of us can still play better. All of us can get improve, and Jordan knows that, and so do the rest of us.
When you see a guy who's like half Jordan or more than half of Jordan's weight and Devontae blocking, and the wide receivers in general, how much does that help the running game, and what's it like seeing a guy like Devontae do that?
Yeah, the receivers are an integral part, especially of what we're doing up front. I think that, Nick has harped on that all off season, obviously coming from that realm. That was something that really he emphasized a lot. And you can see that those guys have really taken to that a lot, whether it's running the screens on the outside, asking them to dig out a safety on a run play, asking them to block the bubbles and whatnot. I mean, those guys have all embraced and know that they're going to be held accountable to do that job. And, when they all do that, that just makes the defense, respect everything else that much more and defend the entire width of the field, which is, there's a pretty big field out there. So, if everybody's doing that stuff on the outside, it makes our job a lot easier.
You talked about if teams start loading the box and playing cover zero. Is that what your expectation is now, given what you guys have shown?
I don't know. I don't know that I have an expectation. I'm kind of just going in, seeing what people do. I know that teams have certainly seen to do that with Lamar and some other running quarterbacks before. You want to stop the run, playing zero is a good way to do it. But Jalen can throw the ball really, really well. I think that's the one outlier with this guy, is that he can also be a true quarterback to the T. And I think that he can throw the ball. So if you're going to do zero, that's a risky game to play as well. So I think whatever anybody wants to try, we're game for it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jason.
All right.